Hello, this is Cryptolyze. I hope you are well. This Monday, 20 November 2023, we meet today to talk about AXS, the crypto of Axie Infinity. So as usual, we're going to dissect this video into two parts. A fundamental part, we will come back to what Axie Infinity is. We will come back to the usefulness of AXS in the ecosystem of this game, which is a play to earn. We will discuss it a little later, and then we will project ourselves on the graphs to see short, medium, long term, where we are on purchase prices, prices of sale, and it starts right away. As a reminder, you always have the possibility of having free access to the educational course, which is a 60-hour training worth €400, which allows you to learn blockchain, crypto, investment, analysis technical, trading, everything to become profitable. Through 130 videos, 400 pages of guides, quizzes to find out where you are in your progress, and all for free. To have access to this lifelong training, simply use the platform of one of our partners. Everything is explained in the comments and descriptions. So what is AXS? So already this is the token of the Axie Infinity game. Axie Infinity is a game that broke out in 2021 really during bull run, which was really revolved around play to earn. It was really the advent of play to earn, which was further accentuated in the notion of meta, with the rebranding of Facebook as Meta, in which there was all this narrative really around the metaverse, where values like AXS completely flew to the ceiling. We'll see it in the graphics section. It's quite impressive. So that's the new image, that's the new representation. That was the one at the time I made one of the videos, so there's already a little bit of time at AXS. We see, although there is a form of really strong rebound that has taken place, in which we are trying to simplify to make a little more kawaii, and we are clearly preparing ourselves in a form of management of little monsters and the evolution of little monsters, because overall that's really the principle of Axie. Infinity is about having little monsters that we will collect, and that we will do, that we will evolve to earn more, and so on. The token itself is the token of the platform which will be used for a lot of things. One which will be used by the players, which will be spent by the players to simply be able to play, and which will at the same time serve as governance, and which will serve as a reward for the Axie holder. Namely, that it is not the only token on the platform. We have other tokens which allow us to directly evolve the monsters, which allow us to evolve in statistics and to be able to merge the different monsters. So we are really in a multiple token method. So the AXS itself will really have a notion of governance and payment in the game. In terms of distribution and allocation, we almost have 30 on the stacking rewards. We will to have, in play to earn 20, we are going to have a dirty audience. We are in something that is rather coherent. On the other hand, when we look at the release schedule, we see clearly that we are very far from being on max supply. We are exactly at 52 for a diluted market cap of 15 billion, which is already relatively substantial. In terms of the roadmap, we haven't made much progress. We're not going to hide. On 2023, not all the parts of 2023 are checked, so that means we're not part of it. Everything in there, and I think it's going to take a long time for several reasons. Let's not forget that we still had a huge hack. Certainly the biggest hack in terms of bridges with Wormhole and Ronin. So Ronin, which was the bridge which was mainly used to interface with Axie Infinity, and we had $650 million which were lost in this hack, which were been stolen, and behind it there was fundraising to be able to continue with $150 million. It's still much less than its $500 million, it's $500 million that was lost in it. So imagine the impact, whether at the level, teams, in terms of staffing and in terms of the evolution of the game, and that's a bit of what's scary about Axie Infinity. Personally, I don't play. I tried the game in 2021 to see how it worked. It's not at all my basic style of play. And it's true that I don't necessarily have a big palatability on it. If you are ever a user, tell me what you think about it. In any case, in the different figures that I was able to grain from right to left, which has nothing official, unfortunately, is that we still have a number of users which was decreasing in 2022, which is rather classic, and we are seeing volume again, a priori, since the last 6 months, last 7 months. So basically the beginning of 2023, where we have a reaction also at the level of the crypto market, and also at the level of Play-O-Arn, where we are starting to have more and more players. If you play Axie Infinity, don't hesitate to say so in the comments and tell me if you feel that there is indeed a surge of new players arriving. Personally, I think that will take a little time, and obviously we will also depend on the narrative typology for the next bull run. Will the metaverse and gaming have a place in the next bull run? This is the big question that you will have to ask yourself, particularly regarding AXS. So we are going to attack the technical part in which we have something which is relatively clean. We are going to find an Elliotist diagram in 5 waves, wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5th, very short, which gave us here the ATH and the surroundings of $170, and then we did a wave of retracements, A, B, C, rather classic in an impulse wave pattern with a breakout here of liquidity in this retracement, classic retracement, and then we sink into DO and GT. What? A big accumulation of wick-off, in which we find here the selling climax which was left in June 2022, so after the Ronin hack, plus Terra Luna plus Celsius, so it really hurts. And then we is replunged with a huge wick of volatility, which is rather classic in this type of event in which we had a bullish impulse because we went looking very, very low. People have wrong words all simply for and got. Say that we were starting to rise again at that time, and then we had a massive sale, and we remember that we were in the passage of FTX2, therefore a lot of volatility linked to everything that was around cryptos in general, so we had quite strong crowd movements, and then we had a bullish reacceleration, in which we went to retest interesting zones, but we did not manage to consolidate above. We just took the liquidity here from this high school that we had therefore. Then sink slowly and reform another accumulation which we find here in SC, STB, therefore taking liquidity and then upward acceleration. The question we are going to ask ourselves now is this bullish acceleration a sign of rupture or not? Well, it's quite simple. In fact, there are 2 very strong breaking points. The first is this block, in which we have to break above and consolidate. Okay, if we don't consolidate above this level, that implies that we are not ready to start rising again. And that's the first thing. So already from the base, we are relatively far from that. Second thing will be the rupture of this level. Agree, if we do not break the $13, $15 here, we will not start to rise again, knowing that we still have the dilution at the level of the token, and we in any case have a project in which we have already undergone a hack, and we know very well that it is very complicated to come back once we have done a hack. So this also implies that even if we have performance, we will see a big ATH is the big question we will have to ask ourselves. Personally, in terms of targets, I tend to tell you that the big target to go for would be the 45 with the retest here of this bay, which would be completely consistent. I think there are a lot of people who are still stuck here, so a lot of people who will come out at that time. What can we estimate as a big target at AXS level? Already I ask myself the question, will we really have the possibility of once again looking for a new ATH at AXS level? For me, it's going to be very complicated, mainly due to the hack. Even if the team has done what's necessary to try to get going again, that's something that's huge and above all a colossal loss of confidence. And I think that's going to play a role in the long term. So personally, AXS is something in which I will take profits fairly early, in which then I will leave a classic moonbag to go perhaps higher, retest the AT8, see a little bit higher, but it's not something in which I would say to myself that I would look for very, very bullish breaks with quite crazy targets, because in this case, we have already experienced drama at the level of AXS, and the number of protocols that manage to recover from this are really very, very weak. And so it is felt that even if we have an increase in speculation, I think we will really have to be aggressive in taking profits and in securing our profits with a break, which will rise quite quickly. I hope you liked this video. If so, don't forget to leave me a like and a comment. It always makes me very happy. And then we'll see you tomorrow, as usual, at 7 for the daily.